we're gonna do is prep some ginger juice. It's gonna be actually ginger ice, and this, the idea for this recipe can be found on page 397 in Trim Healthy Cookbook under the Good Girl Moonshine recipe. So I have a ginger root. Let me grab a knife because I need to cut it up just a bit. You might not need one quite this big, and that's fine, but I simply get, this is a Pampered Chef peeler. Any vegetable peeler will work. I just try to get most of the peel off, the skin off, whatever you want to call it. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's really not a big deal. This is all going to be pulverized in the blender. This is a very cheap way, and you can also just chop the ends off to get that tough skin off of there. I think this option is very economical. You can use ginger powder as is listed in the GGMS recipe, but I don't like ginger powder. It's gross. And so I always like to share with my buds how I get the ginger in my GGMS without using that nasty powder. So another option that you can do is ginger juice, which you can order off of my Amazon storefront. So I need to cut this up a little more, sorry. So what I do like to chop this up into some little sections, just 3 little pieces. I'm gonna put it in my Ninja Blender Bullet. If you have a Vitamix or a Pampered Chef blender, that'll be fine. Just a little bit of water in there. I'm gonna walk over to my blender, which is behind the counter. You might not be able to see it, but it won't take long. You can see this here, there's a little bit of pulp here. So all I'm gonna do is increase the water a bit, and then I'm gonna run it one more time in the blender. Okay, and now we have a good little juice. So I don't have any ice trays. So what we're trying to do is just make ice cubes with this, okay? And you can drop as many as you want into your GGMS or any other drink that you're making that has ginger in it. You can put this in just simply a True Lemon packet or a buy drink. It does not matter. So I'm just going to open up my blender here. And you can strain this too. The pulp does not bother me. But if it bothers you, you can blend longer or you can strain this. I'm just not that picky. You'll find that out about me. We're just gonna pour this into the ice tray. And this is like a candy mold is what I'm using. So it's a little forgiving. I'm gonna be able to just kind of pour it through here. Okay, and you just pop that into the freezer, okay? And then you have some ginger ice, which is wonderful. Isn't that great? Okay, so I'm gonna put that into the freezer later. I'm gonna go sit this over here. GGMS is super, super good for you because it aids in digestion. Why would we need help with digestion? Well, it's because we are remnants and all the things of the sad standard American diet, and our gut, most of the time our guts are super wrecked. And apple cider vinegar and ginger are the superstars of the GGMS, and it really loves on your digestive system. It also keeps you hydrated and it boosts your immune system. So this is how I make a GGMS. Typically I have a couple of ginger ice done, so I'll do a couple of cubes of that or whatever. I have hearts this time. A couple of hearts will go in here. And what I do, I just do ice water. And then I do 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. If this is new to you, just use a teaspoon. It's fine. It'll be more apple cider vinegar than you had yesterday. But I have been doing this for a long time, and so I use 2. And some of you may be hardcore and can do more than that. But 2 tablespoons is what the recipe calls for. So I just usually give that a little stir. This is a Pioneer Woman 2 tablespoon measuring spoon. And then I use, this is my preference, it covers the apple cider vinegar twang. This is the THM Hydrate Cherry Berry. You could also use a True Lemon packet. Now this is something that I like to let my clients know. True Lemon packets, the regular True Lemons, do have 1 gram of sugar. That has been listed as approved by THM, but just think about it. That's 1 gram of sugar. If you're trying to do THM legit and you're trying to get off sugar, why in the world would you use a drink packet that has sugar in it? It kind of doesn't make any sense to me. So they're all, especially when there are alternatives. So you could use the THM Hydrate. If you don't want to order from THM, fine. True Lemon has an energy option. So they did come in a bit fewer packets come in the box, but they are completely 100% on plan. They do not include sugar at all. So the True Lemon energy is what I would love for y'all to be using. You could also do something with extracts and sweetener to kind of make it your own flavor. You could use a Vitamin Water Zero. You could use a Buy drink, any of those kind of things to flavor your GGMS. But this is simple for me. Ice water, a THM Hydrate packet, cherry berry is my favorite to mask the apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, and then a couple of ginger ice cubes when I have them made. And just give it a little stir. That's how I like to do it. My girls got me this cute Pioneer Woman glass for my birthday. And it's what I make my GGMS in. All right, so far, friends, we have talked about ginger ice and a GGMS. The GGMS recipe, once again, is on page 397 in the Trim Healthy Cookbook, and it is in page 180 in the starter book, okay? So the next recipe that I'm gonna take you guys to is the Tuscan tomato soup on page 120 in Trim Healthy Cookbook. If you go back, guys, just a little bit, not that far, Amy. There's a section in this book called Quick Single Soups. Most of these soups, all you're doing is making a puree of the ingredients and then you're heating them up. So what I like to do, and this is what I'm gonna teach you guys, and the whole point of including this in the prep segment of our cooking demos, is to say that you can prep things on the weekends, store them in jars, pour them into your pot to heat up, and you have a delicious meal ready to go. Bean ball soup is a great E to do this with. On the next page, the broccoli and cheese soup is an S. If you love tomato soup, the Just Like Campbell's soup on page 112 is delicious. And then another E option, cream of sweet stuff soup. I do like the loaded potato, and it actually is a fuel pull soup. And now we're gonna get to the Tuscan tomato, which is my favorite, and it is a fuel pull as well. So what we're going to do is grab our blender. And this is a Ninja blender. I have the Ninja blender that has this pitcher. It has a shorter one that I call the food processor, and then it has the bullet that you saw me use for the ginger juice, okay? So what we're gonna do, once again, this is page 120, Trim Healthy Cookbook, 1 3/4 cup hot, not quite boiling water. So this is the same water that I got out of my coffee pot, y'all. I'm gonna sit this over here by my oolong tea concentrate so that I remember to use this to fill up that jar. I just wasn't sure how much I would need. Okay, cool. So we've got that. 2.5 tablespoons of tomato paste. Y'all, this is super, super cool because I found this. Let me see, I have my 2 tablespoons. Where'd it go? There it is. Sorry. Anyway, this is tomato paste that I found, and so you don't have all the cans to deal with in case you're not going to be using an entire can. This is it was upside down, I apologize. It's organic, which is nice, and it's tomato paste, if you see here, and it's in a little tube. So, very, very handy. I lost the top. And it comes in a box at Kroger. And I'm sure there may be other places that you can find things like this too, but this is where I found it, and I was just gonna pass that along to you guys. And you just squeeze it. Okay. All right, so that's 2 tablespoons and a half. So we'll just do a little bit more. Eyeballing it never hurt anybody. Let me get that down in there. Okay, so we got our tomato paste. A scoop of collagen. A scoop is 1.5 tablespoons, and I have 1.5 tablespoons with my Pioneer Woman measuring spoon set that I love. They're at the Walmart if you have not ever seen me use those before. 1 teaspoon of coconut oil or 2 teaspoons of MCT oil. 6 pinches of mineral salt. 2 teaspoons balsamic vinegar. I do 1 teaspoon because I don't like it to be very strong, but this is a great flavor for the soup. So if you want to half it, it's fine. I would not suggest leaving it out because it is very tasty. I just don't like it as much. Okay, 4 shakes of Italian seasoning. I don't have shakes of that, but I'm just going to do a little sprinkle because I have a huge thing of it, as you see. Does anybody need Italian seasoning? I can mail you some in an envelope. Okay, 3 frozen whole okra pods. Now, I did reach out and asked why okra pods, and they just say because it's a little easier to measure. So, 3 are going in there. I think I might throw an extra one in. I love okra. Great way to get your okra in, girls. If you only have the cut okra, I would say you would be putting about half to 3/4 cup. It really isn't that big a deal. It's not going to change your fuel at all. Okay, now 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder. Nope, the wrong one. So most of the ingredients for these soups are spices, and so don't ever let a long ingredient list intimidate you. All right, now we're going to do some garlic powder. And that is actually going to be 1/8 teaspoon, so I just won't fill this up all the way. All right. And then black and cayenne pepper to taste. So I'm just going to do a little twist and a little shake. Now, sometimes I do, and my daughter knew this, bless her sweet heart, it only has a scoop of collagen, which is only about 11 grams of protein. I like a little bit more, so I typically will add about a teaspoon, which I don't have a dry one. Let me grab one. A little teaspoon of gelatin just to add a little protein to this soup. This is really, really good soup. I love it. So what we're going to do is just get this blended up, okay? Make sure that you got your okras all pulverized, okay? Got a little section there. Oh, it smells so delicious, y'all. So this jar is probably way too big, but it's the one that I grabbed quickly. And I'm just going to pour it in this jar to save for later. Okay? Put a little thing. We're going to get a marker. Tuscan tomato. Fuel pull. And there I have a lunch ready to go. You could do multiple of these. You could pair this, since it's fuel pull, you could pair it with an on-plan sandwich. That's an E or an S. And it would just kind of like be a little side for you to have. Super, super yum. Pop it in the fridge, and you're ready to go. What do y'all think about that? Isn't that cool? Because I'm going to show you how I prep the instant cookie dough protein bar from Trim Healthy Table. It is on page 428, and I don't make it a bar. I just make it a bowl. It includes 4 tablespoons or 1 scoop of the unflavored pristine whey protein powder. I do not particularly care for that. So, if you want to use it, knock yourself out. I prefer to use collagen. So I'm going to bring her back over here. And since this is a snack, we only need 10 to 15 grams of protein, okay? So I just do a scoop, which is 1.5 tablespoons, and we're all done. This is also collagen, my sweet girl got out. So we're going to put her over there. We don't need that. All right, another protein source that we're going to be adding to this is pressed peanut flour. Grams with that. So you're not going to be going over 15. Okay, good. So the tablespoon of peanut flour just gives you a few grams of protein extra. All right, now we're gonna do 2 to 2.5 teaspoons of Gentle Sweet. This is a 2 teaspoon measuring spoon. Very handy. Do just a little bit more. Okay. A little bit of salt. And you can bulk prep this. So I'm using, let me go back a little bit, sorry. I'm using a little glass container that I have lids for. These, they're 4-ounce containers. I just get them at Walmart. You can buy a ton of these off of Amazon. They're little condiment containers type things, storage. Pop the lid off. So you could be doing the same thing, making a bunch of these at once. Okay. This is my PPP that I have prepped. Okay, so we're also gonna do some coconut oil. Let me move my salt over here so that I know I did it. So coconut oil is a teaspoon. Let me see. Ooh, that has balsamic vinegar. I don't want to reuse that. And yes, I just put the coconut oil right into my container. It's going to mix up fine. Alrighty. I use Lily's chocolate chips. THM just re-released their chocolate chips, so now we do have that option of using those, which is a huge blessing. Those are gonna stick to my coconut oil. So this is how I would prep it. So I have it, everything except the water. So I would put the lid on this and just sit it on my counter. Usually I will make several of these at one time. We don't have time for that in this video, but that is a great way for you to prep. And whenever you're ready to have this, it's a grab and go snack while you're in the car pickup line, on your way to church, between Sunday school and big church for a quick fuel pull snack, whatever you need. You always have access to 2 teaspoons of water. I mean, for real. So you just do your little water in there. I do use a fork to stir it up, and then you can just eat it as is, which is super, super great. I do not ever form these things into a bar. I do have some clients that will form them into the bar and they freeze them. So they are in a bar, grab and go, like a little protein bar. You could also form them into little bite-sized balls or something like that if you would like. But this is the easiest drive-through Sue way. I promise y'all, I'm always gonna tell you the tips on the easiest. Easy peasy is the way I have to go with my very busy life. Remember to prep and keep yourself ready for success. It's super important. I hope that y'all enjoyed these ideas. It might kind of get your juices flowing for some things that you can do, maybe one evening a week or on the weekend. Carve some time out to set yourself up for success. We did the ginger ice, we did a tea prep, we made a GGMS, we prepped a soup, and we also prepped a snack. In 30 minutes, we did all of those things. And I talked a lot. So honestly, you probably could get a lot more done because you won't be talking to people like I was. Y'all have a great day. Bye, y'all.